The most insane fights on paternity court.
She had hickeys on her neck as she's pregnant. What woman does that?
But we wasn't together.
It doesn't even matter. Why would you let another man suck all on? One day I'm the father, one day I'm not.
Your Honor, he is a snake. He's doing the same thing to
All
me
right,
with my daughter.
Coming around
I learned
lately,
from my
not for the past 3 years.
I learned because she keeps moving and people get tired reaching out. Here.
Miss Crow is in paternity court to spark some good curiosity and suspicion, with a mix of many unanswered questions. The distressed mother claimed that Miss Reinhardt's deceased son is the father of her child, but the plaintiff, on the other hand, persisted otherwise. The only way to solve this dispute for good is a DNA test.
Miss Crow, you have summoned the defendant to court to prove that her deceased son, J.C. Turner, fathered your 2-year-old son, Thomas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Reinhardt, you say Miss Crow used your son for money when he was alive, and now it's trying to claim him as her son's father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Reinhardt started by calling the baby mama a liar and made straight out clear that she wanted nothing to do with the plaintiff or her baby. Ooh, coming strong like that. Let's peep at the defendant's explanation and see who's telling the truth.
Time frame she said she was, when she told me she was pregnant, it didn't happen that way. I mean, after 2 weeks, you don't have a stomach as firm as that. Looking at that picture, my son and I had a very tight relationship. My gut tells me this is not my grandson.
When Judge Lauren asked about the nature of their relationship, Miss Crow told the court that they were head over heels in love with each other, and that the alleged baby daddy was the only man in her life. Therefore, she's 100% certain that Jay is the father of her son.
When I first met Jay, we were at a skate park and I called him over to me. We ended up walking to the store and we did have unprotected sex. There's no doubt in my mind that Jay's the father. I did not sleep with anybody else in that time. And if he was here today, we wouldn't have to be here.
But the defendant was not ready to fall for the testimony of baby mama. She further claimed that her son was not in the right state of mind and that the plaintiff manipulated him as if he was a puppet. And this led to a heated argument. Really, woman? You want to go down the my son is a victim road?
That's your own
The
opinion.
mental capacity of a 16-year-old.
And this okay? He had feelings.
He was schizophrenic and he had stress seizures. My son,
I didn't
very
leave him
close
because
to
of that.
his mom.
So you're
He
saying he
really-
did not have the discernment to even say, I don't believe that's my baby?
No.
Further, grandmother claimed she asked Miss Crow to conduct a DNA test, but she denied it. And this hesitance made Miss Reinhardt certain that her son is not the father. But baby mama knows how to deal with this.
How do you know you're pregnant? I know my body.
The truth will set you free. You know, maybe you'll learn if you actually tell the truth.
I've had 4 kids. My daughter has a bowed left leg. JC was pigeon-toed from birth.
After this, the plaintiff went on with telling the court about the equation between her son and the late potential father. Unlike the defendant, who was ecstatic about the baby Thomas and acknowledged the paternity, but grandmother alleged that there was another guy in the picture.
All I know is I saw a picture on Facebook.
That's not his father. My son lost his father. So there's no reason why I would be up here for no reason. I'm doing this for my son. Jay has health issues and we need to know about your health history for your family, because what if it can help my son when he gets older?
One after another, accusations have been put on baby mama by the defendant. And this time, it seems like the plaintiff has something to do with these allegations. Her reaction to these allegations seems fishy.
You not attend somebody's memorial when they're given a memorial of their death because your daughter has school the next day and you can't get a babysitter?
No,
You
that was
can't
what
try-
you guys did. I
No,
went to
I've
the
got
skate
proof.
park where I
I've
met
got
him.
proof. I've got-
You can have all the proof you want to make yourself
were
feel
not
better
there.
because I know what I did.
The courtroom looks like a battleground of arguments, and both women are not going to give up until one beats the other. But their yelling is not supporting their statements or claims to solve this paternity mystery.
When the baby was born, because I wasn't contact. Jay knew
Yeah, JC
he's
knew.
supposedly the alleged father.
It don't have to be alleged because we're gonna find out today.
Then I can let my scab build
Because
back
it's
up.
all about
I'm
you,
the one
right?
that took-
It's about my son.
Wow, these are some serious problems hanging here for the child. But baby mama and grandma were at odds. Let's unlock the secret of the genes and see what surprise the envelope has stored in it.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Reinhardt and Thomas Crow is 99.6% you are related.
Mr. Scott appeared in court to clear his name while claiming that several women have tried to pin their baby on him, And once again today, a scammer has dragged him into this mess. Let's go to the plaintiff's point.
Mr. Scott, you admit to having 6 kids by 3 different women, but state that the defendant is not mother number 4 with child number 7. You have requested a paternity test to prove that the defendant's 3-year-old son, Jalen, is not yours.
Yes, sir.
However, the baby mama has her own set of interesting allegations lined up for the court. For starters, she claimed that the potential father of her baby was nothing but a dishonest schmuck with a fraudulent smirk. See what mommy has planned to deal with the baby daddy.
Crane, you say you were always faithful to Mr. Scott and that Jalen is definitely his son. You argue Mr. Scott is the one who cheated and claimed that during your pregnancy, you're here to make a counterclaim against Mr. Scott in the amount of $5,000 for half of the expenses you spent on Jalen's.
So, from doubt to truth, the saga began. The defendant thought they were sly, but the truth cannot be denied because promiscuous acts were at their peak. See, this is how the deceiving part reveals it.
We were together, her cell phone would ring, she'll walk out the room. She'll leave her cell phone with her best friend. Or like after we spend the night with each other, instead of me taking her home, she'll like walk home and I'll just peep at her and look at her and see what she's doing. And she had other dudes picking her up and she admitted it to me about other dudes.
You a lie?
Uh-oh, the defendant just dropped a bombshell and she's not backing down. She's got the goods on the plaintiff and she's ready to spill. Let's determine what the truth is.
I've been divorced since December 9th, 2009.
I didn't know
She
about
knew I
none
had
of the
kids though.
Enlighten me, how did you discover?
Your Honor, I was 7 months pregnant. I didn't know where Marcel was. He used my phone one time. He deleted all his calls, so I went back on the internet, went back to the research, called all the numbers he called, found out he was married for 9 years.
That's true, I was married, but I've been divorced since December 2009.
Here came the story of how baby mama and the plaintiff's wife spat over the phone call, and how getting rid of the child was brought up as an option. I mean, who stoops so low?
And he actually picked up the phone. He's like, well, how was that when I'm married for 9 years with him and he's right here? And cussed me out for calling. Then the lady was like, well, this is my husband, so she told me to get an abortion. So he was like, no, that's my son, I'm never gonna have her get an abortion. So that's really the story.
Uh-oh, looks like Mr. Scott is caught up in his web of lies. But believe it or not, he tried his utmost to turn the tables around so that he can make a clear steer story from his side. But Judge Lauren didn't let him play smart.
Yeah, I take care of my kids. We've been divorced since December 9th.
But he was sitting there,
But when you
Your Honor,
divorce somebody, do you still answer their phone?
It was her cell phone, and she said, I don't recognize this number. Can
It
you
was a
answer the
house
phone?
phone, Your Honor.
It was
She
not the house
said,
phone. She have her
what
house
you
phone
just
number.
said what you said? It's his house phone number. He didn't
And
say
you
nothing.
7 months pregnant when this happened.
Yep.
Now this calls for Mike to drop, doesn't it? But this is paternity court. People drop secrets. So on that, no man on the podium asserted that the defendant was cheating on him with some other guy, and Judge Lake found this information useful like this.
Mr.
Well, I'm not on
Scott
the
has
birth
some info I need to delve
Well,
into.
I'm not on the birth certificate.
You say that Miss Crane has a tattoo on her body.
What she just told me recently that she had it covered up. She has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 3 dudes named tattooed.
No, Your Honor, I had one.
Okay, so Judge Lauren understood the reasons that made the plaintiff doubt the paternity of the defendant's child. Ultimately, it turned out that Miss Crane's actions are the perpetrators behind all this mess, like this.
She sees my ex-wife. They said, that's what they told me, that she put the cover over the baby's head so nobody could see the baby. And they asked, is that Marcel's baby? She said, nah. And then, so she had to explain.
No, Your Honor.
She had to
Actually,
explain
what
to the
happened
dude.
was
Let me talk.
Your ex-wife told you that she said that it's not your son.
Yes.
What? The ex-wife and girlfriend both were impregnated at the same time. Why do guys think that making babies with 2 ladies is something to be proud of? Even after his senseless action, he continued to make more senseless accusations.
I think his wife and she was pregnant at the same time.
Yeah, they was.
Thought you
But
was
they wasn't-
divorced
but they
in
wasn't together, though.
2009.
Yeah, but we were separated though. We were separated.
And then,
We've
Your
been
Honor-
divorced, but we were separated.
And then he said
I mean,
that,
me and
oh
her
no,
was
that's
Wait
together.
a minute, wait a
Me and
minute.
her wasn't
You were
together.
divorced
Yeah, we
from
got
your
divorced
wife.
from time
So you
to
got her
time.
pregnant after you
Yeah,
divorced.
I mean, I'll admit it.
Their to and fro arguments revealed the baby mama was dating another guy, but Mr. Scott's inconsistency stopped him from seeing his son. See, this is how baby mama and baby daddy put on the defense show.
She had hickeys on her neck as she's pregnant. What woman does
But
that?
we wasn't together.
It
Who
doesn't
cares?
even
And I was
matter.
back
Why would
with
you
my
let another
boyfriend
man
for 5
suck
years.
all on? One day I'm the father, one day I'm not. I ain't been in the son, my son's life in 3 years. Wanna know why?
Because of him.
So you're admitting that out of hurt when you found that
Yeah.
out, you're not the father of the baby.
Judge Lauren summoned witnesses to square things off, but as she entered, she erupted in a fiery rage against the plaintiff. Seems like Mr. Scott is in deep trouble now. Let's see justice or chaos. Which is gonna prevail?
Your Honor, he is a snake. He is doing the same thing to me
right,
with my
now.
daughter.
All right,
You know, don't even plan on even go there.
Let's get some order.
Feels like she brought a new problem with herself for the mister. What? Wait, the witness claimed that the plaintiff was the father of her daughter as well. Maybe the man is promiscuous in the episode.
Oh, he's my daughter's father too. My daughter's 4 months old.
That's your
4
10
months
kid,
old.
right?
4 months old.
Hey, do the math, man.
10 kids.
Our
math.
kids look just alike.
So you claim you also have a child by him, and he's denying paternity?
He wants paternity test. I have it.
Yeah, she had no problem.
Nothing.
No,
The witness's statement didn't help them, but brought another case for Judge Lake about another kid with an alleged father, Mr. Scott. Things were swinging between, and it was time to pop the bubble of the paternity issue at hand.
Mr. Scott, you are the father.
The notorious girl known for breaking hearts has evaded DNA testing for 3 years, but the plaintiff has finally caught up with her. Now, there's no way for the individual to avoid the test and the consequences that come with it. Let's move to their points.
Mr. Carr, you state that Miss Villa is a notorious cheater. There is no way you are the father and had to open today's case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Villa, you and your best friend want to prove he fathered your daughter, Trinity.
However, Mr. Carr claimed that Miss Villa is promiscuous, and even after finding out that she was unfaithful and a heartbreaker from the beginning, he continued his sexual relationship with her.
She was a liar, a cheater, and no good for nothing, just to be honest.
But you still stayed with me.
That's what I was just
Actually-
about to say.
Before I became a loyal man, I was just like her, jumping from person to person to person. But she was the person that I wanted to settle down with.
The relationship recap revealed that they met on Facebook, and then it went from a one-night stand to producing a child together. That is literally a kangaroo jump from hit and run to making a baby.
He hit me up on Facebook and went from a one night stand to us having a kid.
That is a huge jump, Jerome. Jump with a capital J. And it turned into a relationship
Yes,
from
ma'am.
just meeting on Facebook.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is this, love at first sight?
The problem was I couldn't get rid of her.
Let's have a look at the cheating part of their relationship story and determine if there's any actual need for a paternity test to solve the gulf in their crumbling dynamic.
She slept with a man on the 31st of January.
Tony,
Me and
she
her
was-
slept together on February the 14th. 3 days later, she tells me that she's pregnant. I'm like, how are you pregnant?
Tony, you're a liar.
Yes.
So you thinking like, how do you know you pregnant 3 days after we just have sex?
Exactly, Your Honor.
However, despite all the confusion and questions regarding paternity, the plaintiff is playing a significant role in Trinity's life by playing a meaningful role of her father in real life.
Do you have a relationship with her?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm with her every day of the week. I play my role as a father. No matter what it is, no matter how much pain, I still treat her like she's my own child. I didn't deserve to go through what I went through.
But you kept taking me back.
After that news, we got to see how toxic they were acting towards each other. They started to badly bicker with each other while making allegations about cheating, making things worse in the testimony.
Who in the world would take you back if you're sitting there
You don't,
bragging
that's the
about being a
problem.
cheater?
You don't let me talk ever. You
Okay,
kept
I
taking
kept
me
on
back
taking you
and you
back,
kept
and at least somebody loved you enough to take you back or even give you a chance.
Next, Judge Lauren gave baby mama a chance to tell her side of the story and just see how painful and emotional it turned out to be. She said that he doesn't understand her.
He wants me to understand his pain, but don't understand mine. So you left 5 days
But,
before I had Trinity, and then told me you slept with 3 other girls.
Listen, both of you all obviously weren't doing the right thing, with one person being a saint and the other one being the sinner.
The judge gave Miss Villa a chance to testify and asked her best friend about what she has expressed to her regarding this entire paternity question. And it led to this crazy mess.
Why would you put me on child support if I'm supporting my child already?
I've
If
been
you
doing
don't
it
want me
since day
part
one,
of
Tony, so
Trinity's
don't
life,
try
then
that.
just-
Don't
I
try that.
coming around
learned
lately.
from my
Not for the
defeat.
past 3
Well, I
years.
learned from
because
you. Why? Because she keeps moving and people get tired reaching out. Here.
she has reached out to you plenty of times.
Nothing of this testimony was going anywhere. It was all stuck in the same place. Let's get those results for little Trinity and see what the DNA results have to say.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Carr, you are the father